Hello there. So if you're looking for a page builder in 2021, this is the video for you. All right. So I'm going to be going through a little bit of my personal journey around page builders. Now, if you are looking for building how to build websites in 2021 using a no-code or low-code solution, you're going to be presented with a huge amount of options. And you're going like, well, which one does what and how do I do it and blah, 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 and which one's the best one? Which one am I going to get the best page performance? Because, Google's super important with page performance, SEO and expense and cost and maintenance and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's a process I went through when I started my agency. And anyway, back to what I was talking about. So over the course of my career and starting to create and build websites for clients, and I fell in love with Webflow. It's arguably for me the best builder out there. And now I know that people are going to probably have and they are entitled to having their own opinions. But for me, the Webflow experience is hands down one of the best from building it. The problem is that as soon as your clients need to do something that Webflow can't, say, they want to build an auction website or they wanted to go into Shopify for whatever reason, you're stuck, or you used to be. So anyway, in my particular journey, I said, well, crikey, my clients need an auction site, so now I need to kind of build it on WordPress. So I went across into WordPress and kind of went through all of the various different permutations of the website builders, from Elementor to Oxygen to Divi, looking at a lot of them. And they all came back with similar problems. So either the code was really bloated or it was slow, particularly Elementor. The expense, the limitations in and around how to use the different modules, and then having to buy additional plugins just to get it to do something that, quite frankly, is either very simple to do in Webflow, or you just be like, why would you do that? Why would you stop me from putting a div inside a div? It just doesn't make sense. So anyway, so you go through this process and you're like, it's just so frustrating because I want to be in Webflow. I love Webflow, but I need to be in WordPress, and it is so irritating. And then your client evolves, or another client evolves again, and they are like, okay, fine, we want to go into Shopify. So you find yourself going, okay, now I've got to look for another page builder. Back onto YouTube, best page builders of 2021. Probably found this video through that way. And you go through the whole process, and then there's some guy or some person who's talking about the pros and cons of every single ins and outs of one, and quite frankly makes your head go a bit doodaddy. And then they say the same thing. There's some affiliate links below. Would you mind clicking all of them? I'm only going to say to click on those ones below down here because those are the ones I prescribe, and those are the ones that I use on a day-to-day basis. Now, I could go into the limitations and pros and cons of all of the different page builders, and we will be here a long time. The main rub of it is that basically I've gone through that process, and the fundamental element of it is nothing builds websites in the same way, for me anyway, that Webflow does. And although there is new page builders pretty much launching every week, and you've got like Ycode, and you've got Editor X, and you've got this, that, and you've got Shogun, and you've got all these different ones, the one fundamental thing that none of them do, or at least not that I've seen yet, is allow you to build in one place and then export out to all of the different CMSs, to export out to the CMS of your choice. And now Webflow doesn't do that natively, and that's where Udesly comes into play. And anyway, what it allows you to do is to build your websites in the awesomeness of Webflow, host it in Webflow if you want it. You don't need to do anything, but if your clients or you need to go to Shopify, Jamstack, WordPress, or Ghost, Udesly are the guys for you, because what it does is it allows you to configure some custom attributes, export the code, run it through a conversion application, pop it into the CMS of your choice, and you're pretty much good to go. Now, obviously, there's always going to be some there's going to be some element of learning, and that's where this channel comes in, because sometimes you'll create something and you think it seems as simple, and Udesly really are trying to make it as simple as a one-button click, but there's never going to be a one-click button for every single permutation. So there is always going to be a little bit of work required. But I guarantee you it's a lot less work than trying to custom code or trying to hack around the solution within a native page builder, because I've done that particular process. So, you're not going to see any affiliate links to the other page builders down here. I've gone through them all and I've got licenses for most of them. I think some of them are expiring now, thankfully, because they were costing me a fortune. But the fact of the matter is, you cannot get better, in my opinion, than the Webflow build and then the export into the native theme files that you would get within the UESD conversion. Fundamentally as well, that also gives you more flexibility because you're not trying to, as I said, you're not trying to hack around or the various different limitations of the page builders. You don't need additional plugins to make them work. You don't have to keep updating and maintaining these plugins because it's all baked into the theme file that you've designed and developed within Webflow. So yeah, so if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. This channel is all around kind of helping you with that particular pipeline. And as I said, although its goal is to be as simple as possible, there is some convoluted steps that you just need to kind of understand. And yeah, you just want someone to tell you how to do it. So this is what this channel is for. But also, yeah, this channel is supported and maintained by the affiliate links. So if you click on it, it kind of helps me out. So I'd be very, very grateful. If you don't, that's cool. You still rock. But we can go from there. So yeah, so it is the gold standard for me in terms of the overall pipeline and the way of developing websites for my clients. It means I can build in one place and disseminate to multiple different CMSs. So I don't have to learn a different page builder per location or actually learn the custom code as in the case I did with Shopify. Really because you can do it in one place. Makes sense. So even if you leveled the playing field with every single page builder out there, and there's going to be pros and cons, Webflow's going to do something great, Webflow do something pretty bad as well. But overall, if you leveled the playing field, this is the one pipeline and the one reason why I use it is because I can disseminate and I can use multiple different CMSs of my choice at a very reasonable cost. And no limitations on the number of websites that I can kind of convert, as it would be the case with Elementor. But I can build the websites for my clients and not have to try and shoebox them into a situation or a CMS. Anyway, that's it from me. Like, share, and see you later. Cheers.